You started college just as George Floyd was murdered, and there was a reckoning on race. It's natural to wonder if democracy you hear about actually works for you. What is democracy? If black men are being killed in the street, what is democracy? Betrayal of broken promises still leave black communities behind. What is democracy? You have to be 10 times better than anyone else to get a fair shot. And most of all, what does it mean, as we've heard before, to be a black man who loves his country, even if it doesn't love him back in equal measure? When I sit behind the
listen to that
in front of the fireplace across from my desk, I have two busts, one of Dr. King, one of Bobby Kennedy. I often find myself looking at those busts, making decisions. Ask myself.
Sorry, that's just funny.
Are we living up to what we say we are as a nation? To end racism and poverty? To deliver jobs and justice? To restore our leadership in the world?
I often find myself staring at those busts as something very much Joe Biden would say. Can you believe how disgusting and pandering and degrading this speech is? First of all, we're going to start again. I'm going to just pause periodically while everyone trickles in and let you know what I think. Look at his face. I called this the hashtag demented scowl because that's exactly what it is for anybody who's ever seen it before. It's a demented scowl. You started off college just as George Floyd was murdered. And you know, the amazing thing is, the harder they hammer that narrative, the more I'm inclined to question it. But I watched the trial and I actually sincerely deny it. The more you started college right at when he was murdered, and there was a reckoning on race. Can you imagine how insulting all of this crap is? If you happen to be black and you got this old white dude who passed or drafted the crime bill that sent away a generation of black Americans, called them super predators. I don't care what your story is. You're not going to come and beat my mom over the head, is what he said, paraphrasing at the time. Demented scowl. Look at that ugly, mean face.
You started college just as George Floyd was murdered. And there was a reckoning on race.
A reckoning on race that I started.
It's natural to wonder.
Look at this. And they splice it. They splice in these images. I question whether or not these were contemporaneous. What does it say on his shirt? College. What did that say there?
Democracy you hear about actually works for you.
Hold on. Sorry.
Democracy you hear about actually works for you. What is democracy?
Well, first of all, what is democracy? It's like he reminds me of the old lady in Billy Madison. What is something? Is anybody even listening to me? And he's going with this delivery, what's the word? Cadence. Repeat it 3 times. What is democracy? Spew out racist garbage. What is democracy? More racist garbage. What is democracy? Pay attention. In 3s.
What is democracy?
Confused old man doesn't know.
Black men are being killed in the street.
Black men are being killed in the street.
What is democracy?
Twice refrain.
Betrayal of broken promises still leave black communities behind. What is democracy?
There you go. The third time.
You have to be 10 times better than anyone else to get a fair shot.
You have to be 10 times better than anyone else to get a fair shot, says the old white man who locked up a generation of black men. This is patronizing, demeaning, insulting. Oh my goodness. You have to be 10 times better. You think, first of all, I would not dare say that Obama was 10 times better than anybody. And the opposite might actually be true in terms of policy that was enacted, where it wasn't people who were 10 times better than anybody getting positions. It was the white savior complex saying, oh, it's not your fault. And let me elevate you myself to elevate myself. What is democracy? I don't know, because I forgot. What is it? So say it 3 times and maybe it'll make sense, Joe.
Most of all,
listen to this.
What does it mean? As we've heard before,
yeah, face.
To be a black man who loves his country, even if it doesn't love him back in equal measure.
Can you imagine what he just said right there? That's not accusing your enemies of doing what you're doing. That is the confession through projection. What's he admitting right now? As an old, decrepit white man who drafted the crime bill that destroyed the lives of a generation of black men, that he didn't love it back in equal measure. But can you imagine standing up in front of a crowd of people saying, you love someone, but they don't love you back? That's indoctrinating victimhood status. Oh my goodness, did I forget locals? Oh, clap away. Oh, here, I'll send the link. I did forget locals. I just got a text from my friend and it says I forgot local. How could I have it there. I have the locals. Oh, no. I did it and something glitched out. It's not my fault, people. I had it. And then I think I tried to stream to a fourth platform, Twitter. Oh, for gosh sake, it hasn't been live on. Oh, well, one day I'll get the hang of this. Okay, here, custom URL. I had it in locals, and then I think I tried to set up on Twitter, and it said you only get to do 3 custom URLs on StreamYard because of my plan. And locals, here we go. What is democracy? Here we go, locals. I'm sorry about that. Bill, thank you very much. What is democracy? Is anybody listening? Hold on, let me see it. I'll get the video clip afterwards. Good afternoon, everybody. I was thinking, do I go live today? Who knows? We talked about a lot of stuff yesterday. What had happened between last night and this morning? Everything, people. Okay, there we go. We've been waiting on locals, but nothing, because I'm fairly certain what happened is when I tried to add a fourth platform stream, Twitter, it might have booted the last one, which was definitely locals, because I definitely cut and pasted the URL and the RTPM and inserted it. We should be live on locals now. Locals. Yeah, there's my punum. Okay, we're good. So good afternoon, people. It's like a bombshell. I mean, it's a bombshell. Okay, all right. Okay. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. Does that mean Rumble Studio still isn't ready? No, Rumble Studio is great. They need to tinker with some things for those who do guests, because there's some they are incorporating my recommendations in real time, and Rumble is Cohen down in flames. What does this mean? Word up, ninja. I don't. Okay. So good morning, everybody. It's it's tough. Do you think there's going to be any news that's going to happen between last night and this morning? And then sure enough news happens. We're going to get into it. We're going to do the Michael Cohen bombshell. I said on Twitter, like, it's not often you get your Perry Mason, a few good men. You're damn right I ordered the code red. They got their code red admission from Cohen on the stand. We're going to do that on YouTube, Rumble, and vivabarneslaw.locals.com. Then we're going to end on YouTube, and we're going to go over to Rumble exclusively and vivabarneslaw.locals.com. And then we're going to end on Rumble and have our after party as we typically do. And then I'm going to need the folks on locals to remind me to go get the children, because I'm solo parenting and I have a tendency of forgetting things, as people can, imagine. And we're going to talk about P. Diddy over on the Rumble side, and what other stuff do I have? Oh, yeah, we might over on locals go through, what's his name again? Butker's speech, which I don't think people have listened to. But before we do anything, by the way, in fact, we're going to watch something that's going to make you puke. Okay, hold on. Let's watch something that will make you puke for a brief moment, and then we're going to talk about something that will not make you puke. So this morning I got up, and I had to do it because it needs to be done. It's one thing to rage against the gaslighting and, call people names and say how I hate them, because I sincerely and genuinely loathe specific members of Canada's Liberal Party. This morning I said, I'll add a little fruit or a little flesh to my attack. I won't play you the entire thing, but I am going to share you the tweet, which has the link to the Rumble. And if you're not on Rumble, it's got the link to the YouTube. And if you're not on YouTube, then you're not watching the stream right now anyhow. I'm going to ask everyone to share this so that it shall echo through the ages. I spliced together a little highlights. When this wonderful woman, Karina Gould, as I'm going to call her from now on, walks through the forest and tells you that Pierre Poilievre, and Karina Gould, maybe learn how to pronounce his last name just out of respect, Pierre Poilievre. Pierre Poilievre is going to take away Canadians' freedoms and rights and freedoms. This woman of the Liberal Party, who evaded a Nazi, took a picture with him like a with that shit-eating grin on her face, that no idea what those. Oh, this is a Nazi. I love Nazis. She's lecturing Pierre Poilievre on taking away the rights and freedoms of Canadians. I had to splice together a little bit of video footage to highlight the gaslighting.
As we head into the May-long weekend, here's something that we should all reflect on.
Please tell me.
2 weeks ago, Mr. Poilievre said the quiet part out loud.
You did mention, wondering when unvaccinated tourists can start coming to Canada. I can tell you right now, that's not going to happen for quite a while.
I can tell you right now, it's not going to happen for a while because I'm in charge, little bitches, okay? I'm in charge. And I'll tell you, it's not going to happen for a little while. Why? Because the science. I can't. Okay, that was unvaccinated people, discrimination based on just a best substitute unvaccinated for anything else. Why? It's not going to happen for a long time. Anyone wants a medical exemption, you're going to have to damn well prove it.
Speaking with the Canadian Police Association, he casually mentioned that he was going to make his own laws and use the notwithstanding clause to make them charter compliant.
The federal government has invoked the Emergencies Act to supplement provincial and territorial capacity to address the blockades and occupations. These tools include strengthening their ability to impose fines or imprisonment.
He basically said that he was going to start taking away the...
They're going to take away some rights. That's Pierre Poilievre. Oh, by the way, fines and imprisonment if you're protesting.
Rights of Canadians.
These tools include strengthening their ability to impose fines or imprisonment. One more time. Slow down.
But he intimated, don't worry, not your rights, the rights of others.
We're not.
I've just got to highlight something for those of you who don't know. That woman, Karina Gould, is a member of this political party. So she's not criticizing the Liberals here. She's trying to portray the Conservatives, who I don't trust more than I can throw them anyhow. She's trying to portray them as being the ones coming for your rights and freedoms. Listen, I'll stop after a mask face in the back there. The Jittery McGee says her bit.
Using the Emergencies Act to call in the military.
Oh, I'm not doing that. Don't worry. Not the military.
We're not suspending fundamental rights or overriding the Charter of Rights and Freedoms.
We're not, but we are. But we're telling you you're not. So don't believe your eyes when your bank accounts get frozen.
Strengthening their ability to impose fines or imprisonment. We are not limiting people's freedom of speech. We are not limiting freedom of peaceful assembly.
But if you donate to the GoFundMe, you're going to get to the truckers GoFundMe or Give Send Go. We're going to freeze your bank accounts. We're not doing it though, but we're doing it, and it's a good thing.
We are not preventing people from exercising their right.
She's like the demon in Jacob's Ladder. I don't know if anybody's ever seen that movie with Tim Robbins way back in the day. Those demons when he has his hallucinations and they're like just gyrating their heads. They're like little fleshy nubs. And that's Christopher Freeland in the back.
Protest legally.
As of today,
listen to this.
All crowdfunding platforms,
and I'll end it here,
and the payment service providers they use must register with FINTRAC, and they must report large and suspicious transactions,
financial transactions and FINTRAC. Reports.
The government will also bring forward legislation to provide these authorities to FINTRAC on a permanent basis. The government is issuing an order.
They're not coming for your rights yet, but they will be, according to Karina Gould. Permanent basis. That just slipped right in there with the Emergencies Act. Temporary measures to suppress the most peaceful protest ever on a permanent basis, but it gets better.
With immediate effect, under the Emergencies Act, authorizing Canadian financial institutions to temporarily cease providing financial services where the institution suspects that an account is being used to further the illegal blockades and occupations.
If they suspect it's being used to further but don't worry, they're not violating any charter rights. If they suspect that they can do it, and I think you mentioned it here,
this order covers both personal and corporate accounts
with immunity.
Now, when
I'm stopping there. This is Karina Gould criticizing the Conservatives for going after the rights of Canadians. I want to puke. Link to tweet, and please share it. Please share it with everyone you know. Share the Rumble link with everyone you know. Share the YouTube link with everyone you know. And I'm going through these videos, and I feel like I'm taking crazy pills. I'm listening to Justin Trudeau frothing at the mouth. Those people are putting us all at risk. You have the right not to get vaccinated, but don't think you have the right to get on a plane or a train and put my kids at risk. I mean, it's crazy. And we've forgotten all about it. There was a time when they were compelling people crossing the border to go to government-designated quarantine facilities, federal detainment. Why? The science. Get your PCR tests. And while you're waiting for the results, which took 2 to 3 days, you go to a designated quarantine facility, i.e. federal detention centers. They converted the empty hotels into them. You're listening to these idiots. They're like mentally deficient. I said this on Twitter. It's my analogy. They're like mentally deficient children stumbling through a garage in the dark. And they're guiding policy and following the science. And I'm watching these videos and it brings back the trauma. It brings back the rage. It brings back the absolute insanity. They shut down the world. And then they shut down non-essential businesses. And then they come out and say, if you don't get vaccinated, you're putting at risk the person who got vaccinated. And they're the ones talking about trust the science, while they then go on to say, what is a boy? What is a girl? A girl can become a boy can give birth. I mean, it's madness. And then they come out 4 years later and start to gaslight and pretend that it's the Conservative Party coming after the rights and freedoms of Canadians. And they talk about my body, my choice for abortion rights. And in that clip, if you watch it to the end, you literally have Trudeau faulting Aaron O'Toole for saying, it's your personal choices. Your personal choice doesn't mean that you get to put me at risk. Ulcers, from what I understand, are caused by bacteria and not actual stress. Anyhow, so I had to put that together, and it's absolute insanity. I feel actually a little better right now. What was I going to say? I feel a little better, but it might. Oh, and speaking of ulcers, and speaking of being healthy, and speaking of, you might have noticed when you came into the stream, it said it contains a paid promotion, because it does, people. And I had mine this morning. I had my glass of Field of Greens, a spoonful of desiccated fruits and vegetables. For those of you who don't know what this is, it's delicious. It's Field of... Oh, do I want to read? Let me... I'm going off script, people. Field of Greens is a delicious fruit and vegetable. It's desiccated fruits and vegetable, powdered greens. It's not a supplement. It's not an extract. If you don't get your daily dose of servings of fruits and vegetables, and most people don't, you're supposed to have 5 to 7 servings of raw fruits and vegetables a day. And most people don't do it, especially when you're traveling and the only food you get seems to be brown. When I was driving from Montreal to Florida, I was 3 or 3.5 days in a car. I couldn't get vegetables. I went to a Subway and I said, just give me a sandwich without the bread and without, I took the cold cuts. Most people are supposed to have 5. You're all supposed to have it. Most people don't. If you don't, or you have a bad habit in the afternoon, you suck down one of those disgusting Diet Cokes filled with aspartame, sucralose, whatever the hell other chemicals they put in there, substitute the bad habit for the good habit. Field of Greens is made in America. It's a food. It's USDA organic. You put 1 spoonful into a glass of water twice a day. The water looks like swamp water because it's rich in nutrients. It tastes delicious. And you do it twice a day. You substitute out a bad habit and you get at least 2 servings of fruits and vegetables, desiccated form. You get the antioxidants, you get the nutrients. It's delicious, and it's a healthy habit. You go to fieldofgreens.com. It brings you to, what's it called? Brickhouse Nutrition. And if you use promo code VIVA, you will get, I don't want to make this mistake, 15% off and free shipping. So go do it. It's delicious. It's a healthy habit, and it's wonderful. The link is in the description, unless I screwed up, but I didn't because it's there. Bada bing, bada boom. And thank you, Field of Greens. Okay, so now my ulcer is gone. I've got a healthy dose of fruits and vegetables, although I had a sushi for breakfast because my wife ordered it last night and I didn't. Or my wife ordered it, delivered. And then when I got done with the stream, I noticed our neighbor, who's a wonderful, wonderful man and a wonderful family, had sent over a barbecue. So like they know that I'm solo parenting. So they sent over barbecue meat. I had a nice sausage, chicken sausage, and some sushi, which I couldn't eat because of the chicken sausage. So I had that this morning. All right. Dude, I'm drinking coffee right now, which is good because it has antioxidants, but I did swallow a daily multivitamin. That's good. The thing about coffee, apparently the antioxidants, from what I understand, like it gets ruined or counteracted if you put sugar and cream in it, but whatever. Okay, so that's it. That's the intro. The rage is out. And I had to put together the montage for the eternity that it should exist because I'll never forget. Nor shall I forgive, except in as much as necessary for my own inner peace. Are we going to do like a Scott Adams, get your coffee and say your thing? Because I think I'll say it now anyhow. God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. I'll get to that third step one of these days. People, have you been following what's going on with the Michael Cohen trial? I'm sitting here, I'm editing together, and then I see a tweet comes up and it says, Michael Cohen admits to stealing from the Trump organization. And then I go to the man of the hour, Matthew Russell Lee, Inner City Press, at Inner City Press. And I go and catch up on the day of Michael Cohen's testimony. This was like by 10:30, maybe by 11. Good. What time is it now? Yeah, no, it was by 10:30, 11. I'm like, all right, well, how much more of a bombshell can we have, compared to last week, where you get Michael Cohen out there? What was the bigger bombshell of last week? Now, I seem to have forgotten. It doesn't matter. It's wild. And what we're going to do, I won't be able to do it as well as Govea, but we're going to do it because there's not much to cover this morning. But the tweets where Michael Cohen on the stand admits to stealing from the Trump organization. There is, I'm not even going to name the name because it's a useless Twitter account to follow, but you see that there's bots out there, and I believe they're AI bots and bad ones at that. One response to Michael Cohen admitting to stealing $30,000 from the Trump org. One of the tweets said, what did it say? It said, oh, son of a bee sting. It said, that's how corrupt the Trump organizations are. Michael Cohen readily admits to stealing from it. It's like, holy shit, you got some brain dead AI accounts or spin masters out there who have no understanding of anything. Viva the short version of the Serenity Prayer is fucking. No, because that's giving up on making the change where you can. Let me get my. I opened it on my burner account. I've got a burner account on Twitter. It's not a burner account, but what did I call it? I think I actually called it Viva Burner because I wanted it to have an account. A, where I can see who's blocked me and what they've said, but also B, that I can open during a stream without fearing opening my, is this it right here? Inner City Press, opening my DMs and thus revealing something that someone told me in confidence that I do not want to bring to the attention of the public. We're not going to go through the whole thing like Govea does. You gotta go to him to see that. I just want to get to the highlights. Cohen is back on the stand. They were supposed to finish the cross-examination today and go to summation arguments tomorrow, which doesn't look like it's going to happen. But these are the highlights getting out here. Okay, we got this is Inner City Press, at Inner City Press, Matthew Russell Lee, and he's going through this live tweeting because it's not live streamed. So this is how we can follow the trial as closely as possible. And stay tuned because I will be doing a summary talkie vlog later this afternoon, a short video. Trump's lawyer, Blanche, how many times did you meet with him before testifying to Cohen? Oh, yeah, this is where I said there's a Democrat operative confirmed. Listen to this. Cohen, I spoke to reporters, but not about this case. Trump's lawyer, Blanche, this year, how often have you spoken with the prosecutors? This year. Cohen is admitting that he's met with the prosecutors 20 times or so. Last time, 10 days ago. I mean, obviously, because they're prepping him for this trial. Obviously, because they're going to run the questions by him that they're going to ask him, that he's going to have prepped answers for. So it's going to go well in chief, according to the legal analysts at MSNBS. Michael Cohen is a Democrat political operative at this point. Now, everyone involved in this bullshit persecution is a Democrat political operative. But Cohen is now seemingly among the worst. Stormy Daniels, I'm also inclined to feel bad for her because most people, I'm not saying people are a victim of their life circumstances, but most people don't choose to go into porn and to lead that life unless they, have had certain trauma or neglect, or I don't know, maybe it's just that lucrative. So I'm inclined to feel bad for her. She's a liar. I think she looks insecure and I think she looks ashamed of herself, but maybe I'm just projecting normal human emotions onto normal people that these people don't seem to have these emotions. Stormy Daniels, political operative. Paid political operative, by the way, because she's making money hand over fist here. Paid by Netflix. Paid by political entities that are financing and fraudulently circumventing orders, which would result in her paying the money that she's making to Trump because she owes it to him under a court ruling. Set that aside. Stormy Daniels, paid political operative. Alvin Bragg, paid political operative. Not just paid because he's paid to do his job, financed by George Soros, who subsidizes a political action committee called Color of Change. And they get Alvin Bragg elected. Judge Juan Marchand is a political operative. His daughter is profiting off this persecution to raise money for Adam Schiff and Democrat political action committees. And now we know Michael Cohen is. He's met with them 20 times or so in the last 10 days. They asked you questions similar to what they asked you on the stand. Yes, prepping him. But I heard many questions from Ms. Hoffinger that I had not heard before. Oh, nice. Trump's lawyer Blanche, were you shown documents that you were not? You were shown documents that you were not then shown last week, right? Yes. Do you know Dan Goldman, now a member of Congress? Remember that video of Dan Goldman, which has gone semi-viral, of him seemingly admitting to prepping Michael Cohen. Oh, okay. I was going to say something that would get me into trouble, but I'll just wait. Trump's lawyer Blanche. How many times did you meet with him before testifying to Congress? Twice. So now we have confirmation from the perjurer on the stand that seems to confirm Dan Goldman confirming that he prepped Michael Cohen. Nothing bizarre or third world or, East Berlin level communist stuff, whatever the hell you want to call it. Nothing bizarre about this. Just, members of Congress meeting with convicted perjurers, prepping them on how to testify. Blanche, and that was the one time you lied. And that was one of the times you lied on Stormy Daniels. You say when you spoke with President Trump, it was about that issue. Cohen, yes. Lawyer, did you speak with Mr. Pecker about extortion of Tiffany Trump about photographs? Yes, sir. This sounds very interesting. We had discussed this idea, which may have originated with Barnes, but I have now absorbed that knowledge by osmosis, and it's my theory that this is all an extortion ring of which Trump is the victim. Just wait for it. Do you know John Liddon, a mortgage broker in Florida? What is his company? Resolution Consultants. Okay. Let me show you Exhibit B130. Do you see the text message from someone called Carrie? I believe so. Well, do you or not? Yes, I do. Okay, fine. And Carrie is Lyndon's wife, asking about medallions. Yes, sir. Blanche, you were having financial problems with Friedman. I'm not sure who this is. Yes, he was having marital problems. I tried to bring them back together or help him find a lawyer. Did you help him find a place to live? Objection. No. Okay, we got some objections. Let me see here. We're going to go down to this. Okay, so we're going with this consulting thing, which we don't really care about. Oh, here we go. Listen to this. Trump's lawyer Blanche. So on the day, they were talking about like when he remembered speaking with Trump or talking about Trump or doing something, testifying. You didn't speak with the president about any of these other matters. Cohen, it was Stormy Daniels that personally concerned me. Trump's lawyer Blanche, you said the $130,000 for Daniels, $50,000 for Redfinch for polling. Yes, remember the breakdown of the $420,000? It's $420,000 that they paid Cohen over the course of months. And they said it was $130,000 for Stormy, $50,000 for this Redfinch polling, which we're going to get into. Then there was a $60,000 bonus, I think. Then there was grossing it up so that Cohen would net what he ought to have netted after taxes. So basically you have the Trump org paying for the taxes for Cohen. No good deed goes unpunished, by the way. Why? How did we get to the 420? That's how we got to it. But listen to this. It was $130,000 for Stormy Daniels, allegedly, $50,000 for Redfinch polling. Yes, says Cohen, Trump's lawyer Blanche. But you only paid Redfinch $20,000. How'd you get it for him? This is wild. I took it out of a TD bank over several days. In a duffel bag? No, of course not. Hold on. It's not that much money. For goodness sake, what the heck is my problem? Okay. For goodness sake, what did I do here? They're back after break. That's not where we are. What did I do? I hit back and then... There it is right there. Okay, here we go. Son of a bee sting. $20,000 doesn't need to go in a duffel bag. No, a brown paper bag. You were square with him. He would have liked the $30,000, so I only paid him $20 on the $50, and I kept the $30. Trump's lawyer Blanche, but Alan Weissenberg grossed it up to $100,000. So you stole from the Trump organization, right? I did. You ordered that code red, didn't you? You're goddamn right, I did. This is straight up. I would have loved to have seen this. Was his demeanor? I did, or was his demeanor? I did. And gosh darn it, I would do it again. It's probably more of a I did because I'm a disgusting perjurer and I'm also a thief, it would seem. Have you been prosecuted for larceny or even made to pay it back? Cohen, no, sir. So remember what I said last week is in order to, buy into a conviction against Trump, you have to believe Michael Cohen when he says that Trump directed me to make the payment of $130,000 to Stormy. Not only does it seem that by all accounts, Trump didn't direct him to, Trump had no idea about what that payment was. Now it's clear that from the amounts that they paid to him, that they're charging Trump for criminally, that Michael Cohen stole $30,000 from that because they thought $50,000 was going to Redfinch, and Michael Cohen stole $30,000. They're criminally prosecuting Trump for criminally falsifying business records when Michael Cohen stole from what he said was the object of those payments. It's unbelievable. You stole from the Trump organization. Yes. If you'd had a retainer, it would have been with Mr. Trump. Yes. Let me show you B20, Mr. Weisselberg. Okay, we got some other stuff here. Now, they broke a little while ago. Trump's lawyer, Blanche. Okay, I don't think we need to go through all of this. Let's talk about your consulting client. Oh my goodness! And did we find out that this guy Cohen is making money like million? How does an incompetent, corrupt moron make this much money in life? Trump's lawyer, Blanche. Let's talk about your consulting gigs, starting with AT&T. They paid you $50,000 a month. For how long? 1 year. That's $50,000. So that's $600,000. That's Hunter Biden level stuff here. What did you actually do? They wanted to acquire TW. Okay, fine. Here's another one. For 20 calls, says Trump's lawyer, you got $1 million. Nothing wrong with that, right? Right. How about Columbus Nova? How long? That was supposed to be a year. Lasted 6 months. You never told President Trump no. How much did he say you got paid? Like $1 million. It was President Trump who introduced me to the CEO of AT&T, Trump's lawyer Blanche. But you told Mr. Trump he was frustrated. You were getting paid to advise AT&T. Objection sustained. All the objections from the prosecution. Hold on. Who objected there? Who objected? Let me make sure this. Prosecutor. The objection is sustained, meaning it's good for the prosecution. They object. They don't let Michael Cohen answer the question. In cross. Trump's lawyer Blanche, were your clients rejected? Okay, fine. All right, now we're going to get into stuff that's new to me because I haven't seen what happened after the break. Let's just scroll down a little bit. Here we go. Trump's lawyer Blanche, you made $4.5 million in 18 months, but how did you get money between your guilty plea and the publication of your book? I had no income. How much income do you need after you've netted and stole $4.5 million or upwards of? I started my podcast in fall of 2020. Trump's lawyer, how much do you make from your podcasts? $400,000? Good for him. You were pitching a TV show based on your life. There's a TV show, The Fixer. It's not yet gotten anywhere. Okay, then we go, let's break here. That was an hour ago. This is all going to be new to me because I haven't seen this. They're back. Okay. The show, The Fixer, how long have you been helping to pitch it? 3 months. Okay, fine. You're writing a third book. I'm considering it, and you're considering running for Congress. Yes. Oh. Well, it goes to show you the level of candidates that, hey, what else would a convicted perjurer, thief, scoundrel do? Run for government. Trump's lawyer, based on the daily attacks on Trump, based on my journey. The Stormy Daniels payments was $130,000. You paid Redfinch $20,000, the rest gross up, and the $60,000 bonus you claim Mr. Weisselberg said you got. Yeah, $60,000 plus a $30,000 theft bonus. Can you imagine stealing from your employer? It's amazing. Trump's lawyer, at the time of the org, you made Trump org, you made $500,000 a year. Since then, you've made much more. Yes. Do you have financial interest in the outcome of this case? Yes, I talk about it on my podcast and on TikTok and earn money. So you started to make money So you stand to make money if Trump is convicted? No, I would make more if he is not convicted. It would give me more to talk about. You're willing to lie out of loyalty. Objection sustained, obviously. I mean, he already admitted to lying. Who gives a shit why he's lying? You claim to have specific recollection of these calls with Mr. Trump. I do. I have no further questions. Redirect. May we approach? Okay, are they going to do a redirect? They're doing a redirect. Prosecutor. So you go, examination in chief was the prosecution because it's their witness. Then you've got your cross-examination from Trump's team, and then you get a redirect. And my goodness, I think they're going to have stuff to redirect on here, but there could, in theory, be like a recross if in redirect stuff comes up that wasn't new, that was new and not addressed in the cross. I mean, you can go ping pong back and forth so long as there's something new to talk about or to ask questions about. Prosecutor, did you testify truthfully in Congress in 2019? I did. I thought he said 2017. On a call with Trump, you said you don't have specific recollection about other matters, but it's possible they were Cohen. Yes. Okay. Leading questions from the prosecution up the wazoo. Typically, you're not allowed asking your own witness leading questions. Isn't it true that? Do you recall that? Open questions when it's your own witness, because otherwise it's called leading the witness. But my goodness, Judge Juan Marchand is letting the prosecution get away with leading questions like it's nobody's business. In October 2016, Were you too busy to finalize the terms of paying Stormy Daniels? No, sir. Or sorry, no, ma'am. Did the $420,000 have anything to do with the work he did for Mr. Trump? No. I stole from Redfinch is what he just admitted to. All right. Hoffinger, Redfinch, what was the work? To create an algorithm to have Mr. Trump raise in a poll of businessmen on CNBC, yada, yada, yada. Okay, fine. Mr. Trump wouldn't pay. Trump... So, okay, this is funny. In a poll of businessmen on CNBC into the top 10, Redfinch acquired IP addresses until Mr. Trump was number 9. Then Mr. Trump wouldn't pay. Yes. Why? Curious. The extra $30,000. Why'd you keep it? I was so angry because of the reduction of the bonus, the little bastard. So I stole his money. It was almost like self-help. Hold on. I gotta bookmark this one. It was almost like self-help. Yep, stealing $30,000 is like self-help. I had laid out money to Redfinch. Hoffinger, the letter to the FEC, people's to objection. Okay, so I think that might be 34 minutes ago. Did they break for lunch? Okay, no, we're still going on. Prosecutor Hoffinger, you wrote the payment does not constitute a campaign contribution. Was that not true? It was not true. Jurors, Mr. Guilty plea is not evidence. Look at this. This is amazing, by the way, because what you have here, Judge Marchand is objecting for the benefit of the prosecution here. This is so, but what it looks like. Hoffinger is the prosecutor's attorney. They're saying you wrote the payment does not constitute a campaign contribution. That was a lie. Cohen says, yeah, it was a lie when I said it does not constitute a campaign contribution. And then it sounds like Judge Marchand himself, sua sponte, says to the jury, his guilty plea is not evidence. So don't worry about that. Don't worry about the fact that he pleaded guilty. Like he's almost objecting for the benefit of the prosecution. Very weird, but not weird at all. It's totally predictable. Hoffinger, did Mr. Trump approve these false statements? He did. And this client says, thanks for what you do. It was about that. Was this NDA perfectly legal? No, ma'am. I'm sorry. I thought you said the NDA was perfectly legal in cross-examination. He did. I'm not going crazy. He said the NDA was perfectly legal in cross, and now in redirect from his own, it wasn't legal, right? Correct that, please. No, ma'am. Did you plead guilty? Yes. Hoffinger, I know it may feel like you are on trial here, but are you? Yes, I'm a poor boy. My grandmother says I'm good. How is this different than in 2018? My wife is not being threatened. Your invoices were false? They were false. The stub too. Trust me, it was false. Trust me, I stole $30,000 from that payment to me, but it was false. Trump told me to do it. Did you hire Mr. Costello? Right. I did not. I did not trust him. He kept working with Mr. Giuliani, and I felt anything I told him would go to Rudy, then President Trump. Holy crab apples. This is amazing. Is this your waiver of attorney in 2019? Yes. So I didn't hire him, but I signed a waiver with him. Okay. We talked about this yesterday, and then we got it. Hoffinger. I'm going to just bookmark that one too. When you sought early termination of supervised release, how did the George Bard case get in? Okay, I don't know what that is. I searched for, the George Bard is the fake one, I guess, where they reference something that didn't exist based on AI. I searched for cases in the New York department, yada, yada, yada. Okay, fine. We've got a break for lunch. See you at 2:15. Good. Let me hear from the people. And what do we got here? Trump's lawyer, we argued about the topic of the call to Keith Schiller. It's all hearsay. They're going to have paralegal say he Googled it. Okay, whatever. Did C-SPAN witness lay the foundation? Rules of evidence apply. Okay, we don't need to get to that. That's where we're at, and it's freaking hilarious. I haven't looked at the chat in a very, very long time. Oh man. So that's it. It's a freaking bombshell. And then in redirect, like they're just coming here. You what you said in cross-examination that totally undermined the entire case. That was false, right? Oh yeah, of course it was false. Sorry, I forgot. You guys prepped me, and then I actually, seemingly told the truth in cross-examination. All right, we've done enough on YouTube. We're going to go over to Rumble and Viva Barnes Law. VivaBarnesLaw.locals.com. Before everyone goes from YouTube, because we've got 3,000 people. Hit the thumbs up thing, the subscribe button, and turn the notifications on, because we gotta increase traffic so that we can increase awareness for Rumble. Before you leave YouTube, come on over to Rumble. I'm going to give you the link. I've given you the link to VivaBarnesLaw.locals.com. Let me give you the link to Rumble if you want to go pass through Rumble on your way to Viva Barnes Law. Let's go to Rumble here. But Rumble and Locals, hit the thumbs up, and let's see that number drop below 3,000 before we move. And Before we do that, I just noticed one Rumble rant over on the Rumbles. Okay, this says, my eyes are bad. Leon won the lion. I like it. I like the name. So let me see here. HTTPS, it says mistspire.locals.com, Widow of the Hillcrest. Hey, Viva, did you mention that I could advertise my locals channel here? I linked the full. Oh, dude, you can put it into the super chat, post it in the comments. I'm not going to, like, just so long as it's not spam. I genuinely don't care, and more power to you. We got a wonderful community at vivabarneslaw.locals.com. And let me just see what this is. This is not an endorsement. This is not an ad because I have no idea what window I'm opening right now. But I'm going to open it anyhow. Hold on. Remove, open, bada bing, bada boom. And I'll go to shared post. This is it. Okay. The Widow of Hillcrest, Mistspire. So I like to write stories in my free time. I'll be posting what I do here as well as give you look before anywhere else. Everything here is just for fun. All right. Well, that's the link to the locals from that gentleman. And now hold on. There was one more before we head on over to Rumble, and we're gonna look over that P Diddy thing. Rivka the Jade Gamer. I know that name. Seen you before. How's it going? What do we see? It says I have an estimated earnings on Rumble now, so I'm sharing it 50,000 over with you, Viva. I have an estimated earnings on Rumble now, so I'm sharing it 50 times over with you, Viva. Okay, I think I get it. Rivka the Jade Gamer, I presume, is a channel on Rumble that you also, if you're into Jade Gaming, I'm joking. If you're into gaming, it's there. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. P. Diddy, we're not doing P. Diddy, but we're going to listen to some P. Diddy stuff, his admission, and talk P. Diddy. We're going to watch, I think we're going to watch a portion of Butker's graduation speech, because I don't think anybody even listened to it who's raging about it. I'll tell you what I think about it, because I have my issues with it. Issues that I go like batshit crazy over? No, because I'm a reasonable human being. I'm not a capital L liberal or a capital D Democrat or a capital P progressive. That is it. And now we're done on YouTube. Ending 3, 2, 1 and wir gone, ja.